remembering the Mawlid of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. طبعا يعني I know this is a sensitive issue everywhere. Huh? Yeah, I'm not new, not just to your community, to every community. I know I'm young, but not that young. I like to say I'm young. I'm not really young anymore. Like they say, I fell off a cabbage truck, but it wasn't last night. It's been around. Not that green. There is no disagreement in the Ummah that you must express or you should express happiness for the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. You should express happiness. The Ummah disagrees on how do we express our happiness. Huh? Why this difference will never end in a sense. Expressing happiness is almost, it's an authentic sunnah, hadith Abu Qatada al-Ansari. How do we express that happiness? We disagree. Khair. I'm not here to deal now with an usuli issue. Maybe some other time we will, and if you want, we will have a whole day to talk about this. The point is that I want to remind you that Al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam himself did not let the day of his birth, which was the day of Monday, go unbranded and marginalized. Again, An Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam did not let the day of his birth go unbranded and marginalized and suppressed, like sometimes the oversensitivities we try to do. Hadith Abu Qatada is clear. Why are you fasting Monday? It's the day I was born in. وَالنَّبِي لَا يَنْطُقْ عَبَث صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. Not عبث. It's the day I was born in. What do you mean day I was born in? فيه فضيلة, فيه منافع, فيه extra. Why are you fasting? I'm fasting because of that. Fast on Mondays, Habibi. هذه السنة. هذه السنة الصحيحة. Fast on Mondays out of expressing happiness for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the birth of His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ومتابعة لرسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وآله. Tell your people about the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because his seerah starts with his birth, obviously, and his birth is part of the seerah. We need to capitalize on every occasion possible in this country to bring people to the masjid and to talk about the love of Allah and the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the love of doing good, to infuse and restore the spiritual dimension of the deen rather than just the ritual dimension. Having said that, without institutionalizing the practice, if it's not mandated in the book and the sunnah, we do not institutionalize a new practice as a mandate. But we take every opportunity at will to bring people. Yahi, bring them every Monday and express happiness for his birth. Express happiness for his seerah. Express happiness for his mission. Express happiness for his principles, for the values, for his life. Why does Allah says, لَعَمْرُكَ? He swears by his life, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Isn't the beginning of his life, at least zahiran, his birth? So let's not put our head in the sand. Our youth need us today. They need us to stay away from focusing on the micro mechanics of differences between this issue and that issue, and to focus on the general things, because we're losing the big picture while we're focusing on the microscope. We need to start using a telescope rather than a microscope, because the youth have forgotten the big things while we're focusing on the micros. I'm not saying that means you invent new things and you make a new practices and institutionalize them. Absolutely not. Al-Quran wa Sunnah Sahihah is the basis. And that's the framework. And that's the first and the last thing. We all have a responsibility not to treat this deen as a ritual. But if we want to learn, let's learn from Salman, how he moved from one station to the second station that led him to the final destination. Search for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life. Search for Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's close to you, that we know. Allah is close to you, we know that. He told us that. The question is not that. The question is, are you close to Him? I leave you with this. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى